I'm meeting up with Elie Orgel, the Director of Marketing at Rosenblum Law. He's going to talk about content and links. What else is there to talk about when it comes to SEO? So I'm looking forward to it. Hope you guys enjoy it. Speak to you guys soon. Bye-bye.
Using their AI and all of the different tools that they have, we're actually able to increase our revenues 3, 4, and 5 times.
We're not only weathering the storm, but we're actually growing right now.
So, Elie, thanks for coming out here. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
This is my baseball stadium. This is where I play baseball on the side.
Beautiful.
Yeah. No, not really. In any event, we have the American flag behind us, and we have signs about physical distancing. What's the difference between social distancing and physical distancing? Is there a difference?
Physical is proximity. Social is, I mean, I don't think we're socially distant. We're social together.
Right.
So
cool. I was made for this social distancing stuff. I don't know if you know that. Some people like gatherings and parties and stuff like that. No problems with this at all. But let's talk about you more, I guess. So can you tell people in that camera over there who you are?
my name is Elie Orgel. I've been working in SEO for about 10 years. Right now I'm working at the Rosenblum Law firm doing all of their digital marketing, but a big focus on SEO.
So your first job in digital marketing and SEO was at this Rosenblum Law firm, right?
Well, it actually first started at a digital recruiting firm called AC Lion,
right,
which is in the city. To take even a step prior to that, I started actually in my freshman year of college. Due to unforeseen circumstances, I ended up having a semester off, and I didn't have anything to do. My parents are both in the tech field, so I decided, you know what, hey, let me learn how to create website. This is fun. Let me try. I used Microsoft Front Page,
right,
to create my first website, and then I went to the local pizzeria, created their website, and then.
What year was that approximately? Do you remember?
2010 maybe.
2010. Okay.
From there, I launched into getting an internship at this recruiting company that did all sorts of digital media jobs. And I started learning about all these various different fields, and one of them being SEO. And I'm like, okay, I already know how to make websites. This kind of works together. So, I bought a bunch of exact match domains and started putting up some unique content and started working. I'm like, okay, I got something here. And then I went over to the Rosenblum Law firm and did all of their SEO part-time while I was in college.
Right.
Did that for about 3 years and then worked there full-time for a little bit.
Right.
And then ended up going to Search Interactions, which was a full-service SEO agency.
And Shimon runs that place?
Yeah, Shimon Sandler and Elie Feldblum started Search Interactions.
Uh-huh.
I think they've sold it to MWMM, a big agency that they sold it to. So it's no longer around, but at the time it was very exciting. You're working with some large clients in the city. They had a very unique approach where they were having the account managers work in-house in people's offices in the city, and it was cool. Interesting and very, from an SEO perspective, being able to sit down with developers and content developers and have that in-person feedback was great for getting results.
Interesting. So I've known Shimon for a while, not as long as I know Elie Feldblum. Elie Feldblum I knew in high school, actually. We were in the same grade for 1 year in TNEC.
Wow.
TABC. And Shimon I known since the SEO world back in the old days. I actually knew him when he was back at MTV and Viacom, that place. And then he went on his own, and now he's a multimillionaire. No, I'm not going to say. But we could get Shimon on the vlog, right? You know him still, so you could.
Yeah.
I should email him. I should reach out to people. I'm really not good at that. So Shimon, if you're watching this, reach out to me and we'll get you on the vlog. He's not far, right? He lives.
Yeah, he's in Clifton.
So not bad. All right, so we'll make that happen. And then after that, you went to work at American
Kennel Club.
And you were there for a couple of years, I believe.
Correct, yeah.
And what would you do there? Is this SEO also?
Yeah, so interestingly, American Kennel Club was one of my clients at Search Interactions, and ended up going over to work in-house for them, and was primarily focused on SEO, and then it pivoted to being more of an audience development job. That was the time when social media was really getting hot, and you can get, we were getting millions and millions of unique visitors just from social and paid social. So, we pivoted into doing a lot of that traffic, getting social traffic, but also at the same time, dogs as one of the highest, very high search queries online. People looking for dogs or interested in dogs, looking at pictures. So, there's a lot of fun, exciting content development.
When did you leave that company?
Must have been in
I guess
2018.
I can look it up, but 2018. So I don't know. You probably don't have access to this data, but I think a lot of people are actually buying dogs and pets these days. Because of COVID.
COVID, huge spike. I was actually looking on Google Trends.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Huge spike in puppies for sale. They're kind of claimed COVID puppies,
Yeah. Interesting.
People looking for companionship and
Right. Cool. And then you did something unusual. I only spoken to one other person, I think, on the vlog that has done this before, that went back to a company they were with originally after numerous years not being there. So how'd that happen? How'd that turn out?
So, when I was working for Adam Rosenblum at the Rosenblum Law firm originally, it was a really good relationship. We had a lot of good things going, but at the time I was very young in my career, and I really wanted to gain experience working for bigger brands, looking for larger websites. So that was the reason why I decided to leave and go and work for Search Interactions to get that big brand experience. After dipping my toes in and seeing what it was like, I realized all the bureaucracy that came along with that. And after doing it for a couple of years, I decided, it was time to go back. Adam, throughout that time, was encouraging me to come back to the firm, and at a certain point in my life, once I got engaged and was going to get married, I realized that having that work-life balance was really important to me, and I wanted to work more in a place where I felt comfortable and had that level of flexibility.
And are you in the office these days, or you're remote now?
Now, I actually went to the office today. I got my office plant. I rescued him from from the office, but traditionally, I'm working from home most of the time.
Good. Okay. It's funny. Most people here seem to be working in their offices, which I don't understand. Like in general, I mean, most of these professional built offices, I don't know, accounting firms, they're working in their office. I'm like, my whole company is working remote. I don't know why we can't, but anyway, wear a mask and physically distant. And that's hard to do in an office setting, I guess.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's talk a little bit about SEO. So I believe, according to my notes here and your LinkedIn profile, you wanted to talk about 2 SEO topics, which are really, really not important: content and links. I mean, who cares about content and links when it comes to SEO, right?
Yeah, we should just make really fast websites.
Really fast websites.
With nothing on them.
Nothing on them. And just a lot of DA, but not necessarily links. You could buy DA without links. So I'm just joking. That was an SEO joke. But one of your topics you said was leveraging the industry data for building links, for building link-bait pages. What are link-bait pages?
Right. So if you can find link-bait pages are pages that have interesting, unique information on them that people would want to reference whenever they're writing something. So when someone's looking to build a page that's going to get links, you have to really put yourself in the mindset of, okay, what's something that's referenceable, so to speak. And data is something that is very referenceable, because every time somebody's writing an article and they want to say, let's say, for example, crash statistics in New York State, right?
Right.
And they're going to mention that, they're going to reference where they got that information from. So if you can find data that's interesting to the general public, and specifically data that's not already indexable, as an example, is a great way to create link-bait pages. And that's one of the things I've done at the Rosenblum firm. We've discovered data online of various different types of crash statistics and citation statistics that's available online but not indexed.
Interesting.
So if you can take data that's there and just make it indexable, well, all of a sudden when people are looking for specific types of data, your pages will come up. There's not a ton of search queries around it, but if someone's writing a report, or, we've even had colleges and people who are writing papers reach out to us and ask us about specific data because they're in the space and they're researching it. So taking that data, making it visual, presenting it, mining it for interesting anomalies, and publishing stories around that. These are all different types of link-bait type of pages that you can create that really they're evergreen, because the data, you can always go back and update it and refresh it as it goes, but the data.
Do you create
stays the
those?
same.
Do you create these like the 2018 blah blah blah, 2019 blah blah blah, 2020? You know how I'm saying, like 2020 car, New York State car data statistics, and do you create pages like that, or you make sure that you have one evergreen page with the latest data on
No,
it?
so what we'll do is, like, say for example, there's like speeding ticket data.
Right.
So like how many speeding tickets are given out in the state of New York, by county. You can look
Right.
at it by age group, by time of day, by day of the month. So you can take all that data. We have one static data page that gets updated yearly, and you can continuously add to that, and then that adds value. Another
Right.
way
You
to
can make a partnership with Google on that, Google Maps, and say when's the safest time to drive fast on a specific road. This way people know it's. I don't know if that works that way, but it doesn't work that way, right? I mean, there's certain seasons and times of the day that probably cops are out more.
Correct. Yes.
So you could technically form a partnership with Google Maps and other companies. Waze.
Yeah.
Yes, they're more because the whole police reporting thing was an issue. Whatever
Right.
happened with that? You were involved in it at all? Do you
No,
follow
I mean
that?
they tried to subpoena. They tried to get certain jurisdictions were trying to get ways to take off the crash reporting, but
Right, and the police reporting too. Yeah. So, all right. Sorry. Go ahead with the
police
other idea.
reporting, yeah.
What's the other idea around link pages? You said you were moving on to something else.
Yes, yeah, just taking that data, and then once you have access to that data, if you can find anomalies or things that are interesting or stand out, and that potentially can turn into a PR piece that you could pitch to outlets, specifically local outlets. So let's say, for example, if Buffalo has a different set of data for number of speeding tickets versus another population, you can make the comparisons and reach out to the Buffalo newspaper and say, hey, did you know about this
Right.
interesting anomaly?
And you see this in the news often, not often, but you see in the news where insurance companies sometimes will release data saying newer cars with crash detection software will reduce the max amount of accidents in a certain area. So you could do the same type of thing with, driving on New Year's Eve. There's a higher percentage chance that you'll get a ticket or that there'll be a crash or an accident, and you could feed that information to the PR press, whatever, in the local areas, and then people will link to you, hopefully. Although they don't always link so well. That's your job as an SEO, to get them to link, right? So.
Yeah, but even if they don't link, right? I mean, in my opinion, I feel citations, mentions of a brand name or even authorship, those have value. Are they measurable? Maybe not as much, but and also from just a general brand perspective, we know that Google likes brands, right? So if you can increase your brand awareness, that's going to help overall with your SEO strategy in the long run.
Cool. That's interesting. All right, good. So that's a good way of coming up with pages that people want to link to, people want to cite, and the press want to actually cite, because that's very hard to find, recent data. And you have access, I guess, to certain databases that people don't have access to because of your position in this law firm.